Let's rock and roll. We've got James Hughes here with us today. I'm incredibly excited to see what James has done. As you've probably seen previously, I sent out an email asking for volunteers. What we wanted to do was get hold of your funnels. If you're having problems with traffic, you're having problems with conversions, you're having problems with tech, if the thing's just not working, it's not getting you the results that you want, James is the man who can help you. He's an absolute expert in funnels. He has over 250 five-star reviews on the Funnel Rolodex, and that is not easy to do. He's worked with small businesses, big businesses, brand new funnel experts, and just really changed the game for a lot of people. So what I did today, as I said, reached out to the community and said, right, everyone send us your funnels if you want James to help out. And we picked one that is very, very interesting. We'll dive into it. James is going to show you what they've got at the moment, but it's a speciality funnel whereby they are trying to start a webinar that's based around a US space station that hardly anyone knows. So these people have access to astronauts. They've made a film, but it's just not taking off. They're not getting any sales. It's losing money. So they need someone like James to come in and really save the day, because they have, like many of you on here right now, they have this awesome product. They have something that they know people want, people need. It's really, really interesting. It's really valuable, but for whatever reason, it's just not working. And I think we all face this issue from time to time, especially as beginner entrepreneurs, because it is painted as something that just works, right? You set up the page, you start running some ads, and it will just flow, right? You'll get leads and there'll be upsells and you'll start making money like there's no tomorrow. But it doesn't always go that way, does it? And I think for a lot of us, we get to a point where we think, I've done everything. I've followed the guides, I've followed the tips, but it's still not working. What do I do? And that's when we turn to someone like James and just say, James, can you help me out? Because James really is the expert. And as I say, he's worked with all kinds of businesses, had a ton of five-star reviews, worked for companies like Audi, real big names. So what we're going to do today is just go through this funnel of our volunteer. He's going to show you what they have, and he's going to show you exactly what he would do to turn it into a profitable funnel. And then as soon as we've gone through that, it's open to any questions. So if any of you are having problems in your businesses now, it'd be really nice to know if you let me know in the chat what business you're in, what area you're in, and any problems that you're having with your funnels. What sort of information do you want to get out today? What's the one thing that we could give you today that would make turning up very beneficial to you, right? Let me know what that is, and then we can come back to it in the Q&A and answer those questions. So you go away with something in, I'm so glad I attended this. It's been absolutely fantastic. So I will stop waffling on. I'm going to pass you over to the man himself. James Hughes, take it away, sir.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for having you on the call, guys. Really excited to do this. I recognize some of the names as well, and the faces. So yeah, the example of the funnel is to do with it's called Skylab, and it's to do with astronauts. They've got a DVD based on astronauts and space and things like that. So it's a pretty obscure business, but I just want to dive in and show you what I've done in terms of an overview. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so this is the business, and it's a pretty basic website. It's a traditional website. It's more like an online brochure. There's no sign really of a solid sales funnel there, or a call to action, something to entice the prospect in. It's, as I say, it's mainly like just a brochure, an about section, and the copy's not great either. It's a bit confusing. You get on the page and it's like, okay, yeah, it's about space. It's about the new generation. And you're scrolling down, 10 years of research in 98 minutes. Well, yeah, great, but it's not really interesting me at this point. But so that it needs a bit of work in that sense to get across to the prospect of what the DV can help them with. So right at the bottom, it says, I've picked out some text that says, it teaches us to be in awe of the uniqueness of our planet, to take the global view, to find the courage, the skills, and the resilience to follow in the steps of the people involved, and to learn from their extraordinary teamwork, planning, and foresight as they lay the ground for what we can do today in, with, and from space. So that should really be in a prominent position at the top. So when people hit the site, or the funnel hub that people are calling it now, it needs to entice them in. Then if we've got to take them on a journey where we want to get to that eventual sale. So let me show you this diagram. So the people in question were talking about doing a webinar funnel. Well, webinar funnels, as great as they can be, are notoriously hard to convert or get them to convert. So it takes a long time to get that off the ground. You might get opt-ins at the front end, registrations, but it's notoriously hard to get show-ups, to convert them on the sales as well at the end. So this is what I've done for them, and it can incorporate a video. So I'll just zoom in. So pulling that text from the website, which it took me a while to find. So by that point, most people have bounced off the website. It says, learn the exact steps to finding the courage, the resilience, and teamwork skills from the masters at Skylab. Send me the short video now. So more of a short opt-in, a hook, a headline that's going to entice them in so you can start nurturing the prospect. What they have currently is a bit all over the place. So that's taken them to the opt-in page. If we get a 40%, around 40%, and clients that we're working with now, we're getting 40% consistently, up to 80% in some cases. We're getting them to opt in, and we're nurturing the leads. So people interested in this, obviously targeting via advertising, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, content videos on YouTube, and retargeting. We're getting them to find out about these exact steps, to find the courage to get that specific result without the core problems. So there's that short video, not a webinar, not an hour and a half perfect webinar, just a short video to help them get from highly skeptical to the desired outcome. A very short video indeed, like 5 minutes, 15 minutes max. So that's what they're going to opt in for. When they're consistently opting in for this, once it's converting in terms of the advertising, you're selling the click, they're clicking on the ad, you get them to the opt-in page, and you're converting them around 40%. You're building that huge asset that's the email list. I'm sure you've heard it a few times, that if you lose everything else, if you've still got your email list of prospects that you can nurture and take them to the sale, it's gold dust. You know, that's the treasure, basically. That's the main asset. So you're nurturing the prospects, and you take them to that short video. Now, the short video can be housed on the long form sales page. Rather than take them through that webinar, the perfect webinar or an evergreen webinar, we take them to a sales page, a no-brainer offer. You've probably heard it, the Godfather offer, Sabri Subri calls it, an offer they can't refuse. So you've got to make it as such. So on the sales page, you've got to really over-deliver for a price point around $97. Minimum probably 27, 34, depending on the figures, but you'd have to have an increase in your order bump to get to bump up the average order value to get that profitable funnel at 2 return on ad spend. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. $2 out, $1 in. So conversion, that's an industry average 5%. If the product is $97, we're going to give them the DVD. So they've got merchandise, but the main goal is to sell the film that they made on Blu-ray and DVD versions on those formats. So we're selling the DVD or a community. So the community for Skylab, something valuable. It could be housed in Facebook. Probably not the best place to house it because of all the distractions, but on a platform where people can interact about Skylab, about, you know, gaining resilience, growing courage, whatever this product can help them with and solve. So we have to have the core product. So DVD or community. Then we include 3 bonuses. So the bonus 1 could be DVD or the community. Bonus 2, merchandise piece 1, merchandise piece 2. Okay. Now that is going to take them to the order form. Now, if we're looking for a 30% opt-in, on the order form, if it's a two-step order form, on the actual sales page, so that's one page, or a separate order form, people are opting in. So this is an opportunity to, they've seen your offer, they've seen your no-brainer offer, and they're thinking, this is for me. But for whatever reason, they haven't carried out that order, they haven't paid and exchanged, they haven't put the credit card details and exchange that transaction. So they're opting in to the order form, and you're following up with them. So it's like an abandoned cart stroke nurture follow-up sequence, which is taking them back to the no-brainer offer at $97, obviously the same as the initial. Then what gives the return on ad spend of 2 is we're giving them an order bump. So this can be done on the same page. And you can use some software, you may have heard of it, CF Pro Tools, that can create multiple order bumps on the one sales page, okay? Or alternatively, on the separate order page. So it's all about testing. So if you get it on the one page, it might convert better, but you just don't know until you launch it. But you've got to set yourself up for the best possible chance of the result. So you're following up with them, 30% are opting in, you're restating the offer, and you're taking them back through the flow. The order bump, price at around $46 to $67. So in this case, the potential client from Skylab is looking to sell photos from space, like a very, very unique offer that's never been seen before online. And the copy can match and align with that as such. So the photos from space, they can sell it for $47 intangibly or through the post. So a 20% industry average on the order bump at $47 plus an upsell, and they're wanting to do a one-to-one with an actual astronaut. So if you're selling that at $297, that is a no-brainer as well. You've got to make the upsell and the order bump no-brainers as well. You know, underpricing, really over-delivering with bonuses and a guarantee, an ironclad guarantee, no risk guarantee. This is what gets the sale over the line initially. So it's so important, that first page, that sales page. Okay, long form copy. I'll show you an example in a second. So that's basically the ascension model funnel, the value ladder. And that will get you, if you're driving 1,000 clicks at a cost per click of, let's just double check that. It's kind of an average of 72 cents, just based on what we've done for clients. We get a lot cheaper than that as well. Probably starts off around $1, maybe a bit higher, and then we can get it right down to sometimes 30 cents and less, depending on which demographics you're targeting. So that's giving you a return on ad spend of $2 out, $1 in spend. Okay, based on 1,000 clicks per month, they're monthly figures. So an example of the no-brainer offer. This is something we've done for a Kung Fu company. So this is this no-brainer Godfather power offer, Alex Hormozy calls it. It's all the same stuff. It's effectively a page, intrinsic value and perceived value, with the backup of that power guarantee that's just going to get that sale. As soon as they glance at it, they're thinking, well, this is for me. I'm going to go straight through to the order form. You've got to take the time and the patience and craft an offer like this, okay? And get the copy dialed in also. And then you can, when you've launched it, you can test it with variants in ClickFunnels, with different hooks, headlines, different colors, more sophistication in terms of the testing and the A/B testing after that. But just get it running. It's important you just get it going, throw it against the wall, but dial everything in first. So this is an example of a Kung Fu company in San Diego that they're wanting to get people. So it's selling the free class. Okay, so there's no monetary value involved at this point, but it's selling the free class. So it looks like this. Urgency and scarcity. What is the company? Who we are? How does it work? How is this different from competitors? How do I know if this will work for me? Because the person reading it will be asking themselves this question. Social proof, testimonials, reviews. Over delivering in terms of content and delivery. Literally goes on forever with the value. Why take this class? And then it gives all the great reasons, the features and the benefits of why they should take the class. So you're solving every conceivable problem, even at that first point. That gets them into the funnel and creates that buyer, so you can nurture the buyer and take them to your other offers. Okay, it's a very long one, that. So an alternative funnel, and something you can include in the ascension model, is a viral element. So this is the Skylab viral funnel. So it works kind of in the same way, but you're adding that competition at the front end. So they're opting in to win the prizes that they can provide, the photos, the DVDs, the swag, the t-shirts, whatever it may be on the e-commerce section of their website. So they're opting in, and you have 3 prizes. And then once they've opted in, to win the prizes, they've got to gain points. So you can use a software such as UpViral, or there's a few others on the market there, but I think UpViral is probably the best. So you're clicking on the buttons to share via the social media channels to gain points. So every prospect that comes into the funnel, it's creating major leverage, because they're going to share and do your marketing for you with these referrals. So what you're doing, you're building that big asset of yours, that email list, so you can nurture more prospects, and then you're taking them through again to the no-brainer offer every time, nurturing them, taking them to that no-brainer offer, crafted in the way that I've just described there. So I wouldn't start with a webinar funnel. I'll probably do a second or third funnel after I got this funnel converting. It's a quicker funnel to get going, the ascension model, that is. And crafting the mini offer is probably the most difficult part of it, but it's so important because it gets them in to the funnel to see your order bump, to see your upsell, and most importantly, you can nurture them over time to take them to any further special offers, to increase average order value, to increase revenue month on month. So that's the overview and the strategy that I would execute with this particular platform.
That looks absolutely brilliant. I've not seen something like that, your share screen that you've done there before. That is that just something special that you do with where you run the numbers and stuff like that?
I think other people do it as well. I think other experts do it, but I think it's just everybody has a special sauce, don't they? You know, it's core information in the main. It doesn't matter who you go to. The guys that I mentioned there, other guys on Rolodex. It's the same stuff. It's just it's about taking it in and taking action, getting clarity, not confusing and overcomplicating things at the front end. It's so important. A webinar funnel is a hard slog in a lot of cases, in terms of trying to get the webinar to convert to a sale. That's always the hardest part.
Yeah, and I guess like you were saying, having a funnel like you've set up is actually a quicker way. You can test it a lot quicker, can't you? You don't have to set up this funnel and run this, or the webinar rather. You don't have to set it up and run it, keep running ads. Because I suppose webinar funnels can quickly eat into your bank balance, can't they? Because if you get it wrong the first time, it's gone, and the people that see your webinar once and then don't like it probably aren't coming back, are they? Whereas leads, I think, it makes sense. I think there's a fantastic way to go about it. So for the people who own that site, they've got a lot of content, haven't they? There's, like you said, there's a lot of stuff on there, but there's no direction. There's no. I think it's a difficult game. It's difficult to get your head around these funnels sometimes, isn't it? And I suppose you know a lot better than I do. you probably see a lot of directionless funnels. I think for business owners, we get so into our product that we know it, right? When we write these pages, we type them out knowing what the product is. And part of that bleeds into the copy we write because we know it. So we kind of write as if other people are going to know it. But then obviously that's where someone like you can come in with a fresh pair of eyes and direct it. Because I hadn't noticed, but yeah, their page had no real direction, was there? It wasn't asking you to do anything exactly, where you're saying, just give them one thing, you know, put them at, this is who you are, this is who it's for, put that on the page, make it very clear, sign them up to that first thing, and then create a no-brainer offer.
It's too people. It's that instant gratification, isn't it? These days, it's you look at something, and if it doesn't instantly hook you in, and it's simple to look at and simple to operate, you just bounce off. And that website is a prime example of, yes, it looks nice at first glance, but you get confused as soon as you see it. It's all over the place, and there's too much going on without any channeling or simplicity.
Yeah, I mean, I think we don't realize it in ourselves, do we? But I suppose subconsciously we all need direction. If you guide us, we'll go. If you don't guide us, we'll leave. Like we'll go.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what I found interesting when you were talking about a no-brainer offer, have you got, when you work with people, what sort of tips do you give people on creating an offer like that? Do you have any
Yes.
like solid tips that apply to everyone? Because obviously this game is very particular to the individual, right? There's so many variables, but is there any like high level tips that you tend to throw out for people that can get their mind in the right place?
Yeah. Well, when people have a business or an idea for a business, they've got to have an audience that wants that solution. They might be unaware of it, they might be aware of it, they might already know about it, and they're doing research, and the 3% they say are ready to buy. So it's the other kind of 97% you've got to cater for and market to and get them into your funnel. So the high level is, and again, it's simple. You've just got to, if you've got that solution that you know that you've got a target audience for that you can help with that solution, just have a 2-column worksheet or scroll it down on a piece of paper or a pad and come up with every conceivable problem that the target avatar has. You know, that what every single thing. So when a person, jumping ahead, when a person hits the sales page, it covers everything that it could possibly solve for them. And then you write a feature for every problem that you can solve for them. Then you come up with 2 or 3 bullet point benefits for every benefit and feature that you note down. So like a 2 or 3 column. And then if you do that and then you back it up with highly perceived bonuses and bonuses that kind of on first glance outweigh the perceived value of the core product, and that can help them get from highly skeptical to the specific result that they so desire, they're going to buy it. If they don't, they're going to opt in at least, and then you can test it. But if you dive straight in with a webinar funnel, it's probably not the best solution.
I think, yeah, you reminded me of something there when you said about the bonuses being better than the core offer or being even more valuable than the core offer. There's something that happens there, I think there's probably a lot of us can relate to. When you see an offer and you think, oh, I kind of like this offer, but then you see a free bonus and the free bonus is more attractive than the actual offer and it's free. There's some switch in your head where you just think, I really want that. Yeah, I will pay the gateway price to get that free thing.
Yeah.
And there's something interesting about it because it's not just on top of, is it? There's something that switches, and having that freeness to it, you just think, yeah, I'm taking it. I'll buy this. That's really good. I take it these are things that you help people come up with as well if they get stuck.
100%, yeah. So what we do is we help with the consulting, we help with the build, we help with we've got a consulting program where it's lifetime access, and we help people, you know, with monthly optimization clinics, because people are at different points in the journey. They've paid it for a third party to get a funnel built. They're starting from scratch. They've got a funnel that's working to a certain extent, and they need that hand-holding guidance continuously, because people think once, particularly people that come through Rolodex and they go through the great program that ClickFunnels is, they think once they've got a funnel that it's an ATM to print money, whereas it's far from the truth. You know, the funnel might be beautiful looking, and you might think that you've got the best product in the world, but things might not be dialed in. It might be very complicated, like the webinar funnels, if they're not dialed in correctly. And yeah, there's so many parts of the puzzle. What we help with is getting people in line and doing things consistently. It's all about action, but doing the right things.
Yeah, I think one of the most common messages I get when I ask people what their stumbling blocks are is it tends to be like, I've done everything, right? I've put time, money, effort into this funnel. I don't know why it's not working. And I think we're all, it's very easy for us all to fall into that space, right? Where you just get stuck and just think, this clearly doesn't work. The world doesn't work, you know, and I can't.
And then
they
give up, Lee. They give up.
Exactly.
Give up after 5 minutes,
sense, right?
The other thing that they do is they'll go and build another funnel. And then they'll come to me and say, well, James, I've got an idea for a webinar funnel, this funnel, that funnel, and 500 other funnels. I go, whoa. Just start with start with an opt-in page, start with your offer, and get them to your offer via building an email list first, and have that nurture sequence in place. You can always add more sophistication with more automations and things like that to nurture buyers, abandoned cart sequences and things like that. But get people clicking on your ad first. Get people clicking on your video on YouTube and liking it and commenting, and then that's validating the product. You know, even pre-sell your product before you even have it finished, because that's another thing. People want to perfect everything before even launching it, then they discover there's no target audience and the solution's out of sync. So it's crazy sometimes.
Yeah, what you just said there actually then makes sense, because if you've got this audience that are coming through and they're seeing things from you quick, the webinar could then, it's even more valuable on the back end, isn't it? I guess the webinar, because if say I had a business and you'd clicked on it and you'd been reading my emails a little bit, now when I'm doing this webinar, it probably is perceived much more valuable, I guess, isn't it? Because you'll think, oh, I know this guy, he's been sending these messages, this is good, I'm definitely going to join. I suppose as opposed to going out and just throwing the webinar in people's faces, they might think, oh, I don't really know this person, I don't want to commit an hour and a half of my life to this. So yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. So James said at the start, well, before the call, that anyone that wants to book a call with him, did you say you can open up your calendar just for tomorrow for calls?
Yeah, I'll be getting tomorrow, of course. Yeah, but it's open early next week as well. So some people might not be able to make it tomorrow for whatever reason, short notice. So but yeah, I could do a one-on-one with people.
On the webinar, I'm going to put James's link here. He said, if you want to have a chat with him about your funnel, get some advice, show him what you've got, and he can basically help you through it, have a quick strategy session. I'm going to put the link in the chat now. James. And I mean, I definitely recommend it. It's to get that different kind of input. It's like you said, you can be working on something for a long time, it not work, and then you give up and you suddenly get, you know, shiny object syndrome, don't you? And there's enough of that out there on the internet. It's very easy to get waylaid. It's very easy to get tempted into something else. You know, you think, oh, well, this isn't working. Oh, it's because of that. All right, I'm going to follow that path now. And then another 3-6 months of your life is gone. So yeah, that link's in the chat. So anyone that wants to book a call with James, if you have a funnel, book a call. That's basically what I'd say. James is one of our top experts. To have this opportunity is fantastic. So Ed, as far earlier said that he's a business-to-business coach. He's focused on experts and innovators that have hit a ceiling of some sort, or they want to launch tech. He's got a high ticket program now, but want a sales page that converts. So either low ticket first or straight to application page. Have you got any recommendations on business to business? Does it make a big difference if it's business to business? What route would you take? What route would you recommend he takes?
Yeah, the B2B funnel is got to be, and especially the as far as got a high ticket program as well. I would always recommend, if you've got a high ticket product or program, go with the high ticket program first and try and sell that if that's your main offer, because the revenue that you can create, you only have to sell one or two. If it's priced minimum 5K up to 25 to 30, you sell one or two and that could be 100K per month. So messing around with a $97 product, the low ticket, only do that once you've got the high ticket revenue coming through. If you have the benefit of already generating 5 to 6 figures per month, yeah, start with the $97, but definitely start with a 5-figure program minimum. So yeah, I would start with the application funnel, B2B funnel, a coaching funnel, expert funnel, consulting funnel. Go with the application funnel. Yeah, so generate leads with maybe a simple lead funnel, then get them to apply via your application form, yes, and get them on a strategy call or a strategy session, whatever sexy name you want to put on it. Yeah.
What would that tend to look like? Is that you'd have a simple page with a video or something like that? How do you take, what's the that you found is the best way to get applications? Is there anything particular people do?
Absolutely, Lee. I'll show you this if I've still got it open. Yeah. So this is the reverse selling funnel. It's been called an application funnel. It's called different things, phone funnel, whatever you want to call it. But this is what I would start with as far. And yeah, so you've got can everybody see that? That's the traffic going in. So you're opting into a simple lead funnel, 2-step. But you give them the second step, which is the thank you page or download page via your email sequence. And you tell them as such when they're opting in. You say, please ensure you check your inbox to receive your blueprint, your download, your PDF, a simple lead magnet that's going to help them get from highly skeptical to desired outcome. So once they've opted in, you take them to your offer, your no-brainer offer. So at this point, they're warm and interested. They've seen your ad, they've clicked on it, they've clicked through, they've opted in. You take them to the no-brainer offer. If they don't take you up on that, 3% will, or 2 to 3% will. They'll book straight away, but the other 97 won't. So you nurture them. You nurture them with a sequence, and then you take them back to this page consistently. And what this does here is it sells the session. It sells the call. So the example I showed you before with the Kung Fu company, that is selling the session of the free classes. It gets them on a session, you help them, and then by that point, they've met you. They're kind of on the way to trusting you. And you've given them a lot of value from marketing through to this point where you're on the strategy session with them. Now, at this point, they desire your support, and they're more likely or extremely likely to take action. They're ready to take action. So then they'll probably ask you the question in most cases, what are the next steps? As for how can we move forward? Well, John, well, Sarah, we have my program. My program is X amount, and this is what it entails. So you do that on the call, and it's more like an enrollment. It's not like a sleazy secondhand car salesman sales pitch. It's just an enrollment. It's just a conversation like we're having now, and you take them to the program. And if you're closing 1 in 5, or you're having 5 conversations per week, per month, per day, and you close 1 in 5, that's 5 figures, 6 figures per month.
Yeah, this looks good. I like how you've covered it as well, because Asfar might have, say, if he has like a social media following that's already really warm, he can send them straight to the warm and interested section, I'm guessing, as well, can't he? And you can break it up depending on what sort of heat of traffic you've got. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's, if you're driving cold traffic to the opt-in page, the lead magnet, you're retargeting the people that are hitting this page. You're retargeting in a way with the nurture sequence. So it's automated follow-up. As long as your email copy's dialed in, and there's templates for those. So you're following up with the leads that are coming through, and you're warming them up. You're taking them from, yeah, this looks good, but I'm very skeptical. Then 5 days, weeks, months down the line, you're still nurturing them. You're giving them value, and then you're taking them to your no-brainer offer, an offer they can't refuse, which they see the strategy session page and all that entails, that Asfar is going to give them on the strategy session. Intangible bonuses add in it as well, that perception and intrinsic value of the bonuses. They're going to book the call. They're going to get to that point where they're going to fill that application form in, and you're going to get that application. And that's a qualified lead. They're qualifying themselves to you. And by the time you get on the strategy session with them, they know you inside out because of the marketing, because of the nurturing, and then they're ready to go ahead before they get on the call in most cases. It's just whether they can take that next step.
Yeah, because like, I'm looking through this, you're not at any point asking them for anything, really, are you? You're just conversing with them along the way. And until you get to the application, that's when you're really asking them to, well, they're kind of applying for you for the call, aren't they? Do you shape it as that way round? Like you have to get onto this call versus tell me who you are and I'll let you on the call? Is it more of a people have to meet certain criteria type thing?
It's you call out your target avatar, and then you've got the hook and the headline, and do you have this problem? Question mark. Mm-hmm. Do you suffer from this? Do you have these problems? Are you overwhelmed, frustrated, and have anxiety? If the answer is yes, I can help you on this session because I provide the solution 1, 2, and 3, and I give you the tools as well to get you asking for nothing in return. Just get on a session with me, and I'll guide you, and I'll give everything. And psychologically, the painting a picture that you're the person to take them to the next stage.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely brilliant. There's a great bit of information. I'm trying to take it all in as I'm also trying to keep talking to you.
That's fine. So yeah, again, as far based on his question, that's taking them into the program, which some more information in terms of structuring the program, keeping it super simple, do a hybrid model, done with you. So it's your community plus course curriculum. And the key is that the course, so there's no excuse for people. As long as you can help them in a community environment or even on a Zoom call once per week or whatever it looks like, or whatever, if it's not onerous on your time, you can help them, you can guide them just with what's up here and your experience. Then you can add course material that, 3 or 4% only complete anyway. You can add those resources into your program as you sell them in. So one-to-one support in the community, course curriculum, group Q&A if you want to do group Q&As, and add some gamification, get them to engage in the program, because it's major leverage, because people in the group will hold other people in the group accountable, and it will provide competition naturally. Yeah,
that's absolutely brilliant. So as far as reply saying, very helpful. Thank you, James.
Absolute pleasure.
So has anyone else got any other questions? Anything interesting you want to know? Anything you want to pick James's brains about while we've got him here? As I say, obviously you can book a one-to-one and pick his brains directly if you prefer. But as I say, we've gone through all of the different funnels. You've actually covered a lot more than I thought you were going to cover today. This has been absolutely fantastic. So there's so much information and opportunity there, right? There's so many things, different things that you can do, different things that you can try. And so Emmett's asked, is there any homework he should do before the call? Anything particular? He's booked the call, any homework to do?
There's a short form, Emmett. If you've got to that point, just ask some questions and you'll realize that you're qualifying yourself to me. So you're asking questions. I'm asking questions about how I can help you with your business.
Yep, filled it out already.
Fantastic. Looking forward to speaking to you.
Okay, brother. But no website, YouTube channel, anything like that. Hey, go dive into this before we talk, or just show up and we'll start from there.
Just show up and we'll start from there. It's the easiest way. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
All right, John has sent a message saying thanks for joining today, John. So as everyone knows, I'll send a replay out to this afterwards, and I think there's so much information here, it's going to have to be digested again on a replay. So yeah, if anyone's got any last questions, drop them in the chat. You can unmute yourself if you prefer. Otherwise, we'll let James get on. It's coming up to 7 o'clock your time, is it? Like 6:45-ish?
6:41, yeah.
6:41, yeah. So,
dinner time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you're starving.
Yeah, I am.
Right, it looks like there's no more questions for James. So as I say, I'll send out a quick recap email to everyone. I'll include the replay on there and the link to James's page. So obviously have a look at James's profile as well. I'll include James's profile in the email. Check him out and you'll see it's very, very difficult to get 255-star reviews as an expert in anything. So especially because you work one-to-one with people, right? It's not even like you're doing groups of 10 or 20 at a time and flushing. These are 250 individuals that you've changed the game for. So I say, yeah, I'd jump on this opportunity right now. I'll send you all an email. So go back over the call as you wish. If you've got any questions for me that you want to ask afterwards, any questions for James, feel free to reach out to us. And yeah, we'll help you do whatever you need to get your funnels moving, get your funnels working, and basically get your dreams start to come to fruition, because that's really what everyone's doing it, right? Everyone's got a goal, they've got a vision, they've got something they're trying to achieve. And that's what Funnel Rolodex is all about, is helping you create that thing, to get it working, to get it moving. Because if you can see it, it can be a reality. And just sometimes we get stuck in places, right? And we need that help, we need that guidance, we need those helping hands to put things together. So I really appreciate everyone taking the time to join today. It's been absolutely fantastic. James, absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to get you on again soon. So yeah, I'll wrap it up, everyone. Thanks again for joining, and I'll speak to you all later. Have a fantastic rest of the day.
Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it. Cheers. Bye-bye.